Hi, guys, and welcome to the Tennis Bytes podcast where we serve you bite sized insights into the world of tennis. Hi, this is Adish.
Hi, this is Bhushan.
Rafael Nadal has officially withdrawn from the Roland Garros 2023, and he has also hinted that 2024 might just be his last year playing tennis. Now, personally, as a Roger fan, I have been anti Nadal for most of my life because I have always rooted for Federer, which essentially means I have been against Nadal. But somehow this news breaks my heart a bit.
Yeah, I think so sad to hear it, right? But although might have been a logical step, I think we had guessed it at one point when he was not really participating in any clay tournaments. I think he did not accept the wild card as well, right? In the recent tournament which he was offered, that would have been his first and maybe only tournament before the French Open.
I think it is very important to understand what this means for French Open or the Roland Garros. Nadal has dominated this tournament for almost 18 years now. It is almost as if we can't imagine French Open without Rafael Nadal. He has played the Roland Garros 18 years in a row. He has won 14 of them now. That in itself is a crazy record. I don't think anybody ever will be able to recreate this kind of domination or record at a single event. It's almost crazy the kind of dominance he has shown over the past 18 years, and it's just a little weird for me to not see Nadal play.
Yeah, imagining Nadal, I mean, imagining French Open without Nadal is I mean, not a possibility we would have imagined, right? Even though I think he was not playing from the start of the year, we always thought that French Open would be his tournament. He would look forward to it. He will maybe get in shape, avoid injuries. Somehow he'll play French Open, right? But that is not happening. Yeah, very heartbreaking for me as well. But I think there are a lot of, or there's a different perspective we can look, and thanks to maybe this scenario, that it will be a totally different French Open where nobody is the real favorite. So obviously, I think even if Nadal had played this, I'm not very sure he would have been counted as the favorite. But under the current circumstances, I feel it's a fresh start for everybody, and it's kind of an even game, which might turn out a wonderful French Open this year.
Of course, because now if we are to talk about the upcoming French Open, that is French Open 2023. So now I think it has blown wide open because for many years now we are used to Nadal being the favorite, and of course he has proved and delivered it. But now just let us take a look at the players, right? Djokovic has been sort of underperforming because we know he has also been battling injuries. Even at the Australian Open, there are reports that suggest he was quite injured and he pulled a miracle despite that. Carlos Alcaraz, of course, is one of the favorites. But the recent upset that he had to face at the Italian Open does raise some questions. Also, we have the likes of Holger Rune, we have Casper Rudd, Yannick Sinner is another possibility. So I think for the first time in many years, we have a lot of favorites, or rather, I would like to say there are a lot of players who have a really good opportunity to win the Roland Garros 23.
And I think we should also mention Medvedev, right? He kind of is never counted maybe as a favorite, but he almost always reaches the final rounds of any tournament, right? And it's so great to watch him. Even I think you mentioned Alcaraz suffering an upset here. He also suffered the same in Miami, right? He was not able to do the clay court double, but we should remember that he was also not able to do the sunshine double because he lost in Miami. So yeah, as you said, there are many players, and I don't think it's just because of absence of Nadal. Those players, I think have proved themselves as well. So in the entire clay court season, if you look at it, so many winners, right? We had Rublev, we had Alcaraz, we had Lajovic, right? Even the finalists, right? Sainz Schulp. So many people, and Tsitsipas always performs well. Although I think he didn't win any tournament in the run-up to French Open, I think he has always been there, quarters, semis. Maybe once he lost before that, but quite quite a few players who have really performed well and should look forward to and fancy their chances at Roland Garros.
I kind of disagree with you about Medvedev because he himself has said this on many occasions that clay is his least favorite surface. He just doesn't understand what is going on, the clay surface. But other than that, yeah, I think a lot of players now are in the run for the Roland Garros, and of course, the names that usually come up, especially at this Roland Garros, is going to be Carlos Alcaraz. Djokovic is always a favorite wherever he goes. So yeah, the tournament is wide open.
Right. And then finally, what do you think of maybe Nadal? I think he'll miss Wimbledon as well, but certainly maybe he'll try to compete in all the tournaments before he really retires, right?
Yeah, but actually, this news about Nadal, I think it raises a slightly bigger question as well. He has hinted that next year will be his last year because he doesn't want to retire this way, by
Yeah.
missing out on a tournament. He wants to play a lot of tournaments, a lot of his favorite tournaments before he retires. So I think this also raises the bigger question that, Federer has already retired last year, another heartbreaking moment. Very soon we are going to witness Nadal retiring. He's pushing 37 also, right? Next month he'll be
Yeah.
37. So yeah, that's about right. And with Djokovic also, not exactly. Even though he is the best player in the world right now, except for maybe Alcaraz, but he's still not even close to what he was, right? Like say 6 7 years
Yeah.
before, the way he was playing, he's not playing that great. So I think we have to talk about who are going to replace these three guys, or maybe there won't be three guys, but the big five, big ten, whatever. So I think we also need to talk about that.
Yeah, I think in terms of endurance that is required, I mean, personally, I see it as a big challenge if anybody can match the number of titles that these three guys have. Uh, I have read a recent report in Australian Open where they have compared the last 5 years and the amount of effort or the increase in rallies, the increase in duration. So every stat over the last 5 years has increased in terms of physical requirements that a player has needs to have to really perform well. So I think in terms of game or shot to shot, there might be a lot of players who might match Nadal, match Djokovic, match even Federer, but the longevity and maybe the just physical fitness required to achieve something of this scale might be difficult. But I think, as you said, maybe it's time to move out a little bit from that top three mindset. Maybe we'll have top five, maybe we'll have top seven. Don't know at this point. But for sure, I think looking at the clay court season, uh, it's interesting to see different people coming up, different people getting their chance, different people getting a spotlight. That is really good to watch.
Yeah, and about the media speculation that Alcaraz, Rune, and Sinner are the next big three. So what is your view about that, especially on the backdrop of French Open 23?
I think let's look at how this season unfolds. Let's look at all of them for the entire year or a couple of years. Maybe some surface might be favorite for some people. Some surface might be, let's say, for example, Sinner might have his favorite surface. Maybe that is hard. As of now, we don't know, right? So these are some stats that need to emerge, and they also need to play each other uh, maybe a few more times before we really agree or disagree about those three being the top three.
The heartbreaking news that Nadal has pulled out of the French Open, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. But as you said, we need to look forward to this. And I really hope that a new clay specialist emerges out of the French Open 2023. And so, who do you think is the favorite for this French Open now?
That's a difficult guess. I would say Djokovic, just because he will play his game in big tournaments, right? And he was not able to do so at Rome. I think the surface was very slow. But in terms of French Open, I would say Djokovic and Alcaraz will again be back to his best. And maybe if I have to put a third name, maybe Runa or Tsitsipas, who both of them played really well throughout the clay season. So if they can have a break of 1 week and then they come back fresh, that might be a. I mean, one of those three has a great potential for maybe quarter semis or even uh, to the finals and winning that.
All right, so that's it for today. Do let us know in the comments who you think is the favorite for the Roland Garros 23 with Nadal out of the picture. And if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Take care.